Hi, it's Deb, back with first steps to get your WordPress website up and running fast, and then to take it to the next level, reflecting you and what you have to offer brilliantly. Let's get started. Step 1, buy your domain name, hosting, and SSL. So if you type into Google where to buy a domain name, there are 3,220,000,000 results. What you need is a domain name, hosting, preferably cPanel hosting, and an SSL certificate. And yes, it is basically required these days to have an SSL certificate. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with people being able to reach your website. They're going to be warned away from it. Where do you buy it? That's up to you. Some people will tell you do not buy your domain name and hosting and SSL certificate together, but trust me, it's the easiest way to connect the three together without you doing a whole lot more work. I prefer to have everything in one package. I personally go to Better Web Business. You would just search for your domain in this little box. I also recommend, unless there's a specific reason to go otherwise, try always for a .com. People type that into the browser without even thinking about it. If it's a regular website where you're going to be selling services or products or using it as a brochure for your brick and mortar business, try to get a .com and try to keep it as short as possible. Once you have your domain name, hosting, and SSL certificate purchased, log into your account, click on Manage Your Hosting, click on cPanel Admin, go down to Software, Installatron Applications, Applications Browser, WordPress. Install this application. If you have more than one domain name, you scroll through and you select the domain name you want to put this WordPress install into. If it's going to be your main site, you leave this empty, or if it had blog in it like that did, remove it so it installs on your root domain. And then all of this is fine the way it is. Then you select your username. I would change your email address to your primary email because you'll probably never find this one. You would put the title of your blog or your WordPress site. It doesn't have to be a blog. Watch my other video. And your tagline. You can always change these later if you don't know exactly what they should be now. And then you click Install. That's all there is to it. When it's done installing, you will come here and you will see that it is installed or it's in the process of installing. And when it's done, you can click here. Oh, and don't forget to record somewhere, write down your username and password. I usually just copy it into a note file and then save that. And then when you click on this link that says WP Admin, click on that and be in your WordPress setup, and then move on to the next step. Okay, now we are inside the dashboard and we are going to upload a theme. So I've already uploaded Divi, which I use 99% of the time. See, all of them are free to use. Or you can go to wordpress.org and search through all of the themes that they have there. So I don't need one, but all you would do is hover over this to preview it. And there you see what it is. And then you would click on Install and then Activate. And you'll be in the same situation where I am, which is an active theme. Mine happens to be Divi. I highly recommend it. There's a link in the description below for that. It just makes life so much easier. That's all it takes to install a theme, but you do need to configure something. Let's go to Settings, General. Now, if you hadn't filled this in when you were installing WordPress, this is where you can add your site title and your tagline or change the ones that you have. You can pretty much just leave all that as it is, except these two things. Let's go create new pages. And here's what I want you to do. You can use home or welcome or whatever you want for your home page. You can name it anything you want. And then just go ahead and publish this blank page. Now, ignore this. However, if you have a visual builder on yours, whatever theme you're using, then this will probably, something like this will be here. We'll talk about that later. But okay, so we've published that page. Let's add another new one. We're going to add 3 or 4 or 5 basic pages. We always need a home page, unless it's a blog website, a about page, put about us, about me, whatever you want. So let's just publish that. You'll see why in a moment. Okay, let's add another new page. We're going to add a contact page. You definitely need that. You could also say contact us or contact me. I like to keep it very short, so just contact, and I publish. And add new. Might as well build a blog page. You could, again, choose your names, publish the blank page for now. Add new. We'll go shop. Could be services, store, shop, your call. Publish. We will want a privacy page, but we can set that down in the settings, so we'll skip that for now. But what we wanted to build these pages for and publish them is so that we could go to Appearance, Menus, click, and we are going to create our navigation. Create. And we're going to select each one of the pages here. You can, simple pages come standard, you can delete that in pages. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And we add those to the menu. And then we order them just by dragging and dropping. I like to put in the order of home, about, shop, blog, contact. You may want contact and then blog. I'll kind of rank them in order, and believe it or not, your about page is very often your second most visited page on your website, so I always put it in the second position. And go in order of what you want people to do, is the way I put it. And so if I had a store, I would put shop or store or services in this third slot. Contact, because I would want the blog last, because that stands out on the end if I decide to have a blog. Now in my case, since I'm using Divi, I want to set this as my primary menu. This is especially important with Divi, the theme, but go ahead and set it as your primary menu, whether your theme tells you to or not. And then you save. And I thought of something else. When I went to the pages, I didn't have that new block editor. And the reason why is I've set it in my Divi theme to be the classic editor, because I really don't like the block editor. But if you don't have a Divi theme or that option in whatever theme you're using, you can install a plugin. If you go to Plugins, Add New, just search for Classic. There it is, Classic Editor. and then you install it. When it's downloaded, you activate it, and then you won't have to deal with the block editor that WordPress thinks is so awesome. And a lot of people like it. I just don't. So that's up to you completely. So while we're talking about plugins, you can pretty much see what it takes to get plugins. You just type in what you're looking for. There's certain ones that I totally always install, one of which is WordPress Security. And here it is. It's got 4 million active installations and was updated 6 days ago and is compatible with my version of WordPress. So I'm going to install this one. Definitely want the security. And activate. This is where they're going to send notices in case someone's trying to hack your site or something like this. I already am on their mailing list. And yes, I read the terms of service. Continue. And no thanks. So you can see that I have Yoast SEO. I highly recommend that, especially if you're going to do any blogging. Then I just installed the WordPress Security. I installed Smush, which will reduce image file sizes, improve performance, and boost SEO. And this one came installed. Limit login attempts reloaded. I'm not too concerned one way or the other about this one because in WordPress it has a login security. And you'd be surprised how many people try to hack your site. WordPress will let you know how many people that is and where they're from. So these are the 3 I highly recommend that everybody uses. There's many other choices, and there's free, over 50,000 free plugins for all sorts of different varieties of functions, and there's lots and lots of premium ones. Premium meaning they're paid for. You buy them. But now's a good time to go back to the settings, which is settings, reading. Now we can select our static page, home, and posts blog. And we can save that. We also want to check our permalinks over here in settings, permalinks. We'd like to make sure that, see, we don't want this category post name. I would just go with this one. So save that. And I think it's a good idea to go over to posts, categories, and set up a few of your categories. If you know what you're going to be writing about, and it kind of keeps your mind in the right mode to think about things like that. So, you know, I might say web design and add that category. These are all things that I would probably write posts for, but you can also do it while you're writing a post. So let's go to posts, add new over here. And you can see that we have our categories here. You can add a new category here. You can put it under a different category, and then you just add it and then build it as you go. Now in my, oh, do you want WordPress to stay up? Yep, I do. Thank you. Okay, so in my Divi theme, Divi options, I can set my profile, my social media profiles up here, which will automatically go on the page if I enable that. You would enable or disable, put your URL in each of these fields for each one, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth. And I always enable Google Fonts. So that would all depend on your theme. If you're following along with my tutorials here, I would recommend you get Divi. And that way we're on the same page with that. Other than that, you go to any other theme, you're on your own. And trust me, some of them are so completely different that watching my videos for some other theme would not do you any good. But when it comes down to strictly WordPress items, plugins, and things like that, I can definitely be of help. I had mentioned that I would show you how to delete a page. I know you probably could figure that out for yourself, but I'm going to show you just in case, because it's surprising sometimes small things will trip you up. So here you go. We don't want this sample page, so I'm just going to trash it. So now it's in your trash. So we'll go to the trash and delete permanently. And it's gone. So let's go to settings and privacy. Well, before I do that, let me show you really quick. Privacy is in draft mode. It just comes that way. So we're going to go to settings, privacy. We will use this page. And then we'll go back to all pages. And we will look at it. And you'll see there's some removals, some text removal, all these suggested text. Most of this is good. I would read through it and make sure that it fits with what you're doing. Most of it probably will. Really good enough. Covers everything you need. Some of it may not apply to you, but that doesn't hurt anything. It covers all the usual stuff. So we removed all of that, so let's just publish it. And there's your link. You could add this to your navigation menu. I'm going to copy that link to show you something, but you could add this straight into your okay, so go to view all, and there's the privacy policy, add to menu, and you could put it under contact, for instance. If you pull it out like that, it will show up under. Let me save it and show you. I'm refreshing. So now you have a drop down. I personally don't like having it there, so I am going to delete it. Here's how you remove, and then resave. And I'm going to go to the customize, footer, bottom bar. You can see I filled that out a while back. We're going to change that to 2022, and I will put privacy policy, and this is a little tricky, and I will put this down in the comments. href equals quote, paste in your URL, end quote, and then on the other side of the word, a, which will end it, and you'll see now we have it linked and all the code doesn't show up, which is good. And then of course we publish, and that's a done deal. Now I'm not going to go into all of these settings or customizations in Divi, because you may not have Divi, but you will have something here. And if you are using Divi, those customizations will be in another video. One other thing, I'm going to go back to plugins, add new. In case your SSL wasn't automatically integrated with your domain or was purchased elsewhere, there's this plugin that can walk you through it super simple. It's called Really Simple SSL. You can see I use that a lot. Install it. And activate. You'll be redirected. Now mine has already been activated, detected. Before you click Activate SSL though, be sure you have your username and password, because if it works, you'll be kicked out of the admin area because your URL changed from HTTP to HTTPS, and you'll need to log in again. Be prepared for that. If mine wasn't already working, I would click Activate SSL. It will tell you whether or not it was successful. If it doesn't work, it's not detected, that could be an issue. Of course, it can take some time to take effect. Keep that in mind. You could always try again later or the next day before you panic, unsure what to do then. At that point, I would recommend, rather than go in depth with that circumstance right now and here, call your hosting company for help. It should work perfectly, but issues can happen. I know, considering I've been building and growing websites for many years, things happen. You know, technology. Call your host and let them work it out for you. That is, if you followed my advice and purchased your domain name, hosting, and SSL from the same company. Otherwise, your one call to your host, who could straighten it all out for you, will turn into them giving a URL to a help page that has instructions, and then you're on your own between your service providers. That's why I highly recommend having all three with the same company. So really quick, since I don't need this, I am going to get rid of it. So first you deactivate, and then you delete. So this is part 1 of 10 steps to build your website. Part 2 is going to go in depth on your actual pages, including design, layout, your copy, and CTAs to increase your conversions. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and would love it if you would subscribe and follow along with the tutorials I'm creating just for you. Well, bye for now.